What's up, YouTube? This is Chris here. This is my Dinosaur deck profile for August 2018. I've been playing Dinosaurs since the structure that came out. When I was a kid, I loved Dinosaurs. Same with the guy right next to me. I don't know why he doesn't play it, but Dinosaurs are always cool, and they were kind of like shit on for a long time. So when Konami found out, like, hey, we're gonna give Dinosaurs some support, it was like, yeah, about fucking time. But I love this deck. This deck's gone through a lot of changes. I used to play the Yang Zing version. That was really cool and really busted. Rest in peace, Danglong. But I really want the Earth True King to come back, and if that came back, the deck would change again. But anyway, let's get to the actual deck profile. So I play triple Soul Eating Oviraptor. Oviraptor is your Stratos of the deck. He searches, and he can also dump dinosaurs from your deck to your hand or dump them from deck to grave. Oviraptor's great. He has another effect that lets you pop a monster on your field to bring back a dinosaur from your graveyard. I don't really ever do that effect. I mainly just use him for his searching, but Oviraptor's basically like when in doubt, that's probably what you go with. He's a great card. Next, triple Ultimate Conductor Tyranno. I've seen Dinosaur players play this at 1. They used to play this at 1, and then people caught on to their bullshit and realized they were retarded, so then they're like, okay, I'll bump it up to 2. You want 3 of this card in there. If someone can actually give me an honest answer as to when you would not want this card in your hand, I'm still waiting. But you want this card in your hand. This card is amazing. If you destroy a monster in your hand or field during either player's turn, including himself, by the way, you can book all your opponent's monsters. He can attack every monster they control. He can inflict 1,000 damage by sending him to the graveyard. He's a great card. And the fact that he's a level 10 is a great thing. But 3 Ultimate Conductor Tyranno, no less. Next, you play 3 Baby Ceratosaurus. Baby Ceratosaurus, when it's destroyed by a card effect, you can special summon a level 4 lower dino from your deck to your field. Now, I recently put in Lost World, so that's another reason why this is in here, but you need fodder for your Ultimate Conductor Tyranno to blow shit up, and this is a great one to have. Lets you get an Oviraptor out, usually is what you're going to be doing, but with Lost World, you need things to destroy from your deck, and this is the main go-to. So, yeah. Next, I play 3 Giant Rex. I've seen people play 2 or 1. I like 3 just because I want to see it. He goes great with double evolution pill. Like if you saw this card in your hand and you just use double evolution pill, like that's awesome because you get benefit off of that. If you're able to like summon this out and like get it in your graveyard or whatever, that's great. You want it in your graveyard. You just want to be able to banish it and use its effect. But he's a big 2000 beat stick that can become even stronger. And that's pretty much it. I mean, there's a few other things you can do with it, but I'll get into that later. I play 2 Overtex Qualtus. I don't really think you would want to play more than 3. I think 2 is fine. You could bump it to 1.
More than 2.
More than 2, what did I say?
You said more than 3.
Oh, but yeah. Anyway, so his summoning condition is you can return 5 banished dinos from your like banish pile and return to the deck and then special summon them. That generally doesn't happen. I play like an extra one in case that were to happen, though I can summon him the legit way. But mainly, if he's sent to the graveyard by a card effect, you can add an evolution pill card from your deck to your hand. That's the main reason why he's in there. He can be summoned off double evolution pill, so it's kind of like I like having 2 in here. That way, if I dump one, I could also summon one because his other effect is if your opponent were to activate, I believe, a spell trap or monster effect, you can destroy a dino from I think it's hand or field. I'm not sure. I could look at it. Destroy 1 dinosaur monster in your hand or field and negate the activation. So negate the activation, destroy that card. So he's really cool in there. He's just another option. Like if you need to like negate your opponent's cards or whatever, he's good. So here's my spicy tech. I play 2 quick draw synchrons. So the main thing that dinos can easily do is off your Oviraptor, you can easily, one of your main plays is go into a 5-star synchro monster. And there's a couple 5-star synchros that are machines, and there's one that I play in particular. And if you just have another monster in your hand to pitch, you special summon quick draw, and that's a material for Cyber Dragon Infinity. So it's the main reason why I play it. There's a couple other things you can do with him, but I'll get into that later. But quick draw is not hard to get out. And by the way, any monster that you have in this deck that you're like, well, I don't know, it could be a brick here and there. you can always just use it to just be Ultimate Conductor Tyranno fodder and just blow it up in your hand or whatever and book everything. So no monster in your hand is ever dead because you can just blow it up. One Miscellaneousaurus because it's at one. This card, if I could play more copies, I would. But he's a hand trap to prevent your shit from being destroyed by your opponent, or like making him unaffected by your opponent's card effects for the main phase. And then the only thing I really use him for is I just banish to special summon. You banish dinos from your graveyard, including himself, and how many you banish, that's the level of dino you can bring out from your deck. Mainly, I just use him to summon out this guy, Jirac-Aiolo. Most people know this play. You basically just normal summon Oviraptor, you search out your Miscellaneousaurus, you ditch Miscellaneousaurus to the graveyard by using its effect to protect your dinos for the whole main phase. You banish it from the graveyard because it's the only dino you have at the time, and you special summon Jirac-Aiolo from your deck, and then you go into a 5-star synchro play. So, Jirac-Aiolo, that's the only reason he's in there. You don't ever want to see this card in your hand, and if you do, that kind of sucks, but it is what it is. But yeah, he's a necessity and a one-of. One Carbonetton, this is kind of like my tech. I really like this in here. There's a whole combo I do with him. But basically, he says if he's in the graveyard, you can banish him to special summon a dragon normal monster that's a level 7 or lower, I believe. Yeah, from your deck and put it in defense. So the main thing that I get out with this, and there's a whole combo to do with it, but I summon Red Eyes Black Dragon. And you guys are probably asking, why the fuck do I play Red Eyes Black Dragon in this deck? There's a nice card that goes right along with Red Eyes Black Dragon, but remember, Red Eyes is a 7-star, and you have a lot of good access to other things that you could like possibly use with this card. You can synchro with Red Eyes and do a couple other things, but I'll keep that. I'll let you guys keep looking, but there's some great plays you can do with it. So Jet Synchron, this card is really important because I have a way of pitching it from my deck to the graveyard, and then it has an effect that once it's in the graveyard, you can send a monster. I don't think it's monster, just card. Send one card from your hand to the graveyard and just special summon it back, and once he leaves the field, he gets banished. But he's just an extra tuner, and he can do a few other things, or be a part of a few more combos, but he's really good. It's kind of a combo that I created, so I'll get into that at the end of the deck profile. One Tyranno Infinity. I still like having this card in here because you do banish a lot of dinos, and he could just be a big beat stick. There's a lot of times where, like, if your opponent had like a Solemn Strike or something like that, or they had a way to negate card effects, he's one of the ways to get out over that. If your opponent has a Crystal Wing, he could get over that Crystal Wing, and not a whole lot of other cards could. So I like having him in there. And then for the Kaiju package, one Dogeron and one Jizukiru. So the reason I play these, the Dogeron is searchable off your Oviraptor if you wanted to just Kaiju a problematic monster. And then the Jizukiru, if you do draw the Interrupted Kaiju Slumber, if you do draw it, you give your opponent the 8 and you take the 10, and there are some rank 10 plays you can do with this, and like let's say if you had an Ultimate Conductor Tyranno. So that's the reason I like them. You could always throw in like maybe one more Kaiju just to make sure you didn't like draw one of them. That way your Slumber's live, but I don't know. I don't really feel like you want to be drawing Kaijus that much, but it's just a nice option to have. Now to go into the rest of the spells, play triple Fossil Dig. Fossil Dig's essential. Lets you search out a dino level 6 or lower. That pretty much means Oviraptor or Miscellaneousaurus or maybe a Baby Ceratosaurus or a Giant Rex. That's pretty much your plays, but Fossil Dig's essential. Having 3 Reinforcement of the Armies for your deck is pretty nice. The card that was never necessary for this deck, but they made it anyway, Double Evolution Pill. This card is absolutely retarded. When this card got announced and got released out of Battle of Light's Revenge, and no one was like caring about this card, and they're like, yeah, I'm not playing this in Dinosaurs. It made 0 sense. What is the downside of this card? None. You have to banish one dino and one non-dino from your hand or graveyard. That's not hard to do at all. You just have to play a couple non-dinos or get into your X deck pretty quick. That's not hard at all. So this card's amazing. Lets you summon a level, I think it's level 7 or higher. Yeah, dino from your deck or graveyard, ignoring its level 7 dino from your hand or deck, ignoring its summoning condition. There's a lot of cool ones you can do, but mainly the only ones you're doing is Ultimate Conductor Tyranno and Qualtis. Next for the Red Eyes stuff, 3 Inferno Fire Blast. So this is the main reason I play Red Eyes Black Dragon. It's not hard to do that play at all, and Inferno Fire Blast says that whatever your Red Eyes Black Dragon's attack is on the field, This just takes that out of your opponent's life points, and then Red Eyes Black Dragon can't attack for the turn, but that doesn't matter because he gets summoned in defense mode anyway using Carboneton, so that doesn't matter. But like, if you can draw 2 of these in a turn, that's 4,800 life points off your opponent. Like, that's ridiculous. Like, God forbid if you draw all 3 and you get to play, that's 7,200, and then you just need a Cowboy for a game, and that's it. So, Inferno Fire Blast is great. I love the artwork of this card, and just, you know, growing up, the first Dinosaur deck most of us ever saw, if you watched the show, was Rex Raptor, and he played Red Eyes Black Dragon, so it's kind of cool that I've integrated that into my Dinosaur deck, and it kind of works, so I really like that. Next, I play 2 Gold Sarcophagus. These are just for Giant Rex. It's the only reason you're doing it, because if Giant Rex is banished, he just special summons himself back. It's only once per turn, so like if you already like banished a Giant Rex, the Gold Sark's kind of dead, but like you could always use it to like actually do what it's supposed to do, which is grab a card from your deck and then wait 2 turns to get it. But in Yu-Gi-Oh! Nowadays, you don't really have 2 turns, so it's never gonna happen. But you could always bump Gold Sark to 3. I mean, you could if you had the room. The most recent edition, I've gone back and forth with this card, but I've put in 2 Lost World. The main reason I'm putting this card in is I understand the benefits of it as far as like your opponent's monsters losing attack because they're not dinosaurs. I get that, and I get the being able to like destroy dinosaur from your deck. That's great, but the main reason I'm playing it is because Team X Samurai, Sam from that channel, he did a dinosaur deck profile for a guy that went top 64 at Nats. And credit to that guy because he played an X-Deck monster that made this card like completely worth running. So credit to him, but I'll get to that monster. But Lost World 2, I really don't. 3 is not really necessary. There's people that play the Lost World Turbo. They want to get like 3 terraformings. I don't really think that's necessary. I don't need to see that card that often. It's not my win condition. It's just something cool you can do. 1 Foolish Burial. Foolish Burial is great because not only could you send Carbonet onto the graveyard to get that in there, you could send Miscellaneousaurus if you needed to banish. You could, but the main thing you're doing is Qualtis. If it's sent to the graveyard by a card effect, you can just add a double evolution pill. So this card is like a 4th copy of double evolution pill, so that's really good. And then lastly, 1 Dark Hole, because not only is it great to destroy your opponent's monsters, but if you had a Baby Ceratosaurus on the field, you could blow that up, and then Baby Ceratosaurus gets its effect. So that's pretty cool. Yeah, not playing Regeki. I don't own one. I probably should, but yeah, I don't. Now for the extra deck. So that's my 5-star monster, Excel Synchron, my 5-star Synchro. So I hadn't seen anybody using him like this, but the way I use him, if you give me one moment, I'll go into the play that I do. So the main thing you can do with Excel Synchron is, so you do your normal play where you normal summon Oviraptor, you go Miscellaneousaurus, you pitch Miscellaneousaurus to the graveyard, banish it, summon Dracula, sync for 5. So you have your Excel Synchron. So there's a few things you can do. Its effect is you can send a Synchron monster from your deck to the graveyard and increase or decrease this monster's level by that amount. And that's a permanent like increase or decrease, like that stays with the monster for the whole turn. And he also, I believe, he can Synchro during your opponent's turn. That's cool if you have like a really good play for that. I don't have the levels to like do a whole lot of disruption on my opponent's turn. I can't really go into 7s, so that's not what I do. Generally, what I would do is if I had Carboneton in my hand, you can pitch Jet Synchron from your deck to make him a level 4. So Jet Synchron goes to the graveyard. Then you use Jet Synchron's effect to pitch the Carboneton to the graveyard to special summon Jet Synchron back, and now you have Carboneton on the graveyard, which means you can banish Carboneton, summon the Red Eyes from your deck, and now you have an 8-star Synchro right here. Like, that's obviously like this. So the way I have this deck built is for Master Rule 3, but you could easily like Link spam. You could summon a bunch of Link monsters if you want to. It gives you fodder for that. But this is an 8-star Synchro right here. So that's pretty cool. Obviously, this is a way to get Inferno Fire Blast because you just pitch the Carboneton if that's in your hand. Another thing that you can do is, this is also a Synchron monster, Quick Draw Synchron. So let's say you like had your Ultimate Conductor Tyranno like as well, because that's a play you easily have most of the time. You could summon your Ultimate Conductor Tyranno, do its thing, and then use Excel Synchron's effect to pitch Quick Draw Synchron from your deck to the graveyard, increasing his level by 5, making him a level 10, meaning you can Gust off max your opponent and burn for 2,000, so that's something that's great, and I'll show that card later. But yeah, there's a few things you can do with it, but I really like the versatility of this card. Obviously, you could play High Speed Droid Shimbura to attack twice. I don't own that card. If I did, it's hard to find room, but I could probably try to find room for it. But That's pretty much it. I think he's the best 5-star synchro now that Denglong is no more. But
Bar actually just got the reprint.
oh, did it? In what?
The
Shadows of Valhalla. He's getting reprinted. Okay, then I might pick one up. But he's the only 5 I play in here for right now. So the other thing you can do with him is go into 8-star synchros, like I said. He is a tuner himself, so I play Beals. Now, the way you would get this out is if you had a Gold Sark and you did your normal 5-star synchro play and got him out, if you Gold Sarked into Giant Rex and you ditched your Jet Synchron from deck to grave, he would be a level 4, which means you could easily go into an 8-star synchro, and he's a Dark, so Beals is an option. Beals is great. Can't be destroyed by battle or card effects, so obviously he's an essential one. He just needs a Dark Tuner. Void Ogre Dragon, he needs a Dark Tuner, but he can negate a spell or trap if you control no cards in your hand once per turn. Scarlight. Scarlight's a great 8-star because he can blow up all effect monsters on the field and burn for 500. I think they have to be special summon. Yeah, special summon effect monsters. So he's good for that, but one of the main reasons I play him is because you just saw that I could easily like ditch a Jet Synchron and then get it back out. So let's say like you had a Giant Rex play where you had Gold Sark and then you had your... All you need is like Gold Sark and Fossil Dig, I believe. You could Fossil Dig, Oviraptor, do the whole play, go into this, and then with the... with the Gold Sark, you go into Giant Rex, and then basically you sync for Scarlight, and then because you still haven't used the Jet Synchron's effect, you pitch something, special summon Jet Synchron, sync for 9, and then go into Hot Red Dragon Archfiend Abyss, and that play is not that hard, and he's well worth it, because Hot Red Dragon Archfiend Abyss can just negate any spell, trap, or monster effect once per turn during I play's turn. So like if your opponent plays Regeki, you can just be like, chain, target, negate, and it negates Regeki. It's kind of stupid, but he's awesome. If he inflicts battle damage to your opponent, especially summon a tuner from your graveyard in defense position. So most of the time when that happens, he's probably the only tuner I have is Excel Synchron. So there's just more options for you to do. But yeah, Hot Red Dragon Archfiend Abyss is amazing. That's it for the synchros. For the XYZs, the new number 27 Dreadnought or Dreadnoid. I haven't actually got him out yet. It's not hard. It's just 2 level 4s. But ideally what you would want to do is obviously kill something in battle with him and then just overlay on top of the big machine XYZ monsters. So rank 4s is not hard to do in this deck at all, like I said, because you can easily make that Excel Synchron level 4 and then also Gold Sark into like a Giant Rex. So that's not hard at all. One Dolka, I see some people play more than one copy of Dolka. I really don't think it's necessary because, like, when is that ever going to happen where you, like, the turns are not going to last that long or you're just not going to have, like, more than one rank 4? Like, you're not constantly getting out rank 4s every turn. It's not going to happen. You just want options. So, Dolka can negate 2 monster effects a turn. He has to detach both times to do it, but he's amazing. One Logia. Logia is basically a Solemn Judgment on legs. Logia is a great card. I like them both. I really can't pick. I guess when in doubt, I'd probably go with Dolka just so that it can use its effect twice, and monster effects have always been prevalent or still will be. So here's the card, 103 Ragnazero. This is the guy from Team Samurai's channel that he showed this card and said that like you can just make this, and then because of Lost World, all your opponent's monsters, because they're not dinos, will be losing 500 attack and defense, and with Ragnazero, during either player's turn, you can just target, destroy their attack position monster, and draw a card off it. And like that's amazing. I was like, that's well worth it. So yeah, that's a great combo, and it's not hard to do. One Cyber Dragon Nova, one Cyber Dragon Affinity. Like I said, it doesn't come up like a crazy amount at times, but if you get the quick draw and you have the regular 5-star synchro play, I mean, like, there you go. There's an Affinity, so not too hard. One Volcasaurus, along with the Gaia Dragon, the Thunder Charger. So Volcasaurus is not hard either because anytime you could make the Cyber Dragon Affinity, you could also make the Volcasaurus, and then you could just, because you're running some Kaijus in here, you could blow up a Kaiju or blow up something, and then just instantly go into the Thunder Charger on top of it to do some piercing damage, which in Dinos, you can, a lot of times you're booking your opponent's monsters and setting them face down, so you have a lot of defensive monsters usually to attack into. So, yeah, there's a lot of cool things you can do with that. I really like that play. And then lastly, you got your trains, one Rail Cannon to burn for 2,000, and then the Super Dimensional Robot Galaxy Destroyer. You're only going to get this out using the Dreadnought, new rank 4, and he basically, I think when he hits the field or once per turn, you can destroy all spell and traps your opponent's control. So he's a Harpy's Feather Duster. And then what else does he do? Your opponent can't activate cards or can't activate spells or traps in response to this activation. So, and he has 5,000 attack. I mean, that's pretty awesome. So, that's it for the deck profile. Dinosaurs is a great deck. You can do a lot with it. You can make your own different styles and that kind of thing, because there's Lost World builds. There's people that just run like the basic Dinosaur engine with hand traps. Hand traps are expensive, and I'm not really a big hand trap person. I'd rather just put in more combo stuff. So, yeah, this is the way I like it. But that's it for the deck profile. Comment, like, subscribe. Have a good day.